right. So Wendy, now what I'd like to ask you more about is kind of what your ethnic or cultural heritage is that you were born into.
I was just born into white and Lutheran,
Okay.
but I found out in my senior year of school doing a paper in high school that I am a partial Native American.
Oh.
But none of that has been brought to our family, or I only celebrate it just on my own. Like
Okay.
powwows and stuff like that,
Sure.
just for fun. But otherwise, I've been raised just white, Lutheran, and that's it, basics.
All right. All right. So how did you come to know, like, were there any traditions that your family had, or how did you kind of embrace your heritage?
It was just a family thing that we would do things together. We didn't really have to embrace anything. It was just how we were raised, that this is how it's going to go and this is what we're going to do.
Okay.
So it was just par for the course of what living life.
Okay. So do you think that it manifested anything in your life today? Does it think it made a difference with?
I don't think so. I think it's just the same. Nothing that different, nothing manifested, nothing.
Okay.
We're just the average family. Doesn't seem like it, but we are.
Are there parts you're proud of?
That we have half siblings, and that we, as once we got to know each other, that we weren't half siblings. We were just siblings.
You're just siblings.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not like, oh, this is my half brother or half sister. We were
Your family.
family, and
Yeah.
it was
Full.
to be that way. We
Got
weren't
it.
supposed to say, this is my half brother. You just say,
Right.
this is my brother.
That's wonderful. Not all
Mhm.
families can do that, so I would say that's huge.
It is, because I see other families where they have the split siblings, or a half brother or a step brother or whatever, and it seems so detrimental that they can't that they're not structured as a family in that way, and it's saddening.
Yeah, it really is.
'Cause it's your blood. Who cares?
Right, right, and it really changes how everything goes. I mean, holidays and
Oh yeah.
it just changes
Mhm.
the whole dynamic of that. So you probably already kind of noticed I'm moving around a lot with different, what might seem like random questions.
Mhm.
So this is all part of the lifestyle assessment, and sometimes the questions are really helpful, and sometimes they just don't go anywhere at all.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to ask you a few more questions here. Just kind of, what we're doing is we're, again, looking at your history. So my first kind of more reflective, I mean, we've already been kind of touching on your family system here. But I'm just wondering, first off, thinking about when you were growing up, was there anything in particular that you were really good at? Something that you really enjoyed?
Gymnastics,
Gymnastics?
tap, and ballet.
Oh, wow.
I was in all of those. Yeah,
Fun.
I was good at it. I hate
Oh.
it. I'm boasting my own or tooting my own horn, but
It's good.
I was good at it. But and as I grew up, I did, dance line and cheerleading and
Sure.
stuff like that. But then when I was little, I did all that.
Sure.
It's concentrated on
Right. So then you were,
it. Gung ho.
pre-trained for the things later on then.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, I love it. So you enjoyed that type of thing.
Yes.
Was there anything you can think of from your childhood that was particularly hard for you?
Getting diabetes.
Oh, yeah.
I was 11 when I got diabetes,
yeah, that's
and
young.
it changed everything.
Sure. Sure.
change the dancing and the gymnastics and having to check my blood and take my shot and then eat or if I had
Sure.
insulin reaction. So it was mostly the diabetes. Nothing really.
So let's go back even earlier to when you were around age 6 or 7. Do you remember at all what you wanted to be when you grew up?
At that age? Probably at that age just a dancer. But then as I seen my mom and grandma and great grandma, they were in the restaurant business. So at first I wanted to be the dancer, then I wanted to be a chef, and then I wanted to be a nurse. But it was all things that were connected in my life
Sure.
for something, but it ended up being in the medical, obviously, because of the diabetes.
Sure. Yeah, because you had a lot of experience with it and probably the curiosity and
Oh yeah.
it's probably why that appealed to you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And then, so I can kind of hear how the patterns changed then to start with the dance that obviously appealed to you because you were good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you saw your big role models, your mom and your grandma, then I want to be like them.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna cook and bake, and I'm gonna be wonderful at it.
Yeah.
No, not unless it has a microwave.
Funny how things change.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, well, let's take a look then back on how, right around that age, again, 6 or 7, maybe even when you were around 11 too, and you were diagnosed with as a diabetic. Thinking back to kind of the neighborhood where you grew up,
Mm-hmm.
how did you get along in that neighborhood? So, like, how would you characterize what your role was?
My role in that age, I got along with everybody. I was a really outgoing child.
Okay.
So there wasn't a stranger. But I also did have my brother with me all the time, kind of to back me up.
Oh, yep.
Wasn't really much at the younger age because I did have my brother there all the time, but we the summers we'd go to Grandma and Grandpa's and spend almost the entire summer there.
Oh, okay.
In like June, July, August. So that was learning about yards, planting, cooking, cleaning, all that stuff Grandma and Grandpa taught us.
Were they kind of on a farm instead, or
No,
still-
they just had a big giant lot and home that they built.
Okay.
And they lived on a lake too, so we got to do
Fun.
a lot of the physical stuff.
You must have gotten really close to them then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. My brother and I both, because we were there a lot in the summers, we both got very close to them.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, that makes a big difference. That had to make a real. I mean, some kids don't get to have that time with their grandparents.
Mm-mm. No,
Like that.
and we got a lot of it. And, you know, there's some people that are like, oh, I don't see my grandparents, or I don't. Like, I almost see them too much. I'll share them with you. But when they passed, all those fleeted memories of the
Oh,
summers, just, it was hard.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I know that my brother looked at my grandfather more as a father and a parent figure than our own father, because we were there and he helped out so much. I kind of was like that, but I split it between my grandma and my mom.
Sure.
So I think my role was just basically trying to figure out where I'm going and didn't really care.
Sure.
Like, grandma got this, mom's got this, sure, what do I do? So it was more of the dynamics of being raised properly to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So grandma was trying to do it with my mom, who ended up being a single mom too. So it was a lot of structure and figuring out where we were because she's a single mom. But she was pretty awesome, and my grandparents were pretty awesome for taking us. Because she still had other kids to watch.
Right.
So her hands were full. But the summers were great. I mean, I don't miss, I'm talking about it with my mom today.
Oh.
I was like, I miss going to the lake. And she's like, I know, I'm sorry. Because they sold it.
Oh.
And they passed away. We're like, we want it. But
Yeah.
understandable.
Right. Yeah, that is hard, even though it's just a
Right.
thing. It just
There's
holds so many
memories.
memories there, and just potential to make more.
Mm-hmm. And bring your family into it, and yeah, they needed to sell it.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking for my brother and I, but
Yeah.
we let it go.
Got through it.
Yeah.
Good. Well, good and bad.
Yeah.
Well, ultimately then, I mean, it sounds like you do have a very unique family situation. I mean, I consider that to be very diverse, in just all the experiences that you had. I mean, you're close with your siblings from new marriages, and that closeness that you were able to get with your grandparents. Not all kids have that. What do you suppose, kind of at this point, this is kind of my big question here to wrap up this session, and we're going to compile these things together. I'm going to ask you more next time. What is the impact that your diversity has had on your life? What do you think at this point from your past history has impacted your future life?
It has given me strength in numbers. Just for relationships, for friendships, for anything, makes me a stronger person than with what I have with my daughter and with my family.
Sure.
I think that with what my diversity, what I've gone through, someone probably would have gone off the deep end between the child, the diabetes, grandparents, siblings being half. I don't think a lot of people could have handled that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, it's a lot.
It is. And it's made me a stronger person. It's made me closer to family, and it's made me a, I guess you could say, a bridge for my daughter to cross over. So she knows that what she has won't stop her, and that everything else will come together and make her a stronger person.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's the diversity, is that I think it's made me, as I sit here and cry, but it's made me a stronger person with any type of relationship.
Absolutely.
I still have the, back inside me going, okay, do I trust this person? Do I do this right? Did I do that right? And say, you know what, you've done so much in life that it doesn't matter. You are who you are, and this is where you're going to go with it. And so I think that my diversity is strengthened me in numbers than it would the average person.
Sure. Absolutely. Do you ever take the time to recognize yourself and let yourself be proud?
No. But I know I need to.
That's something I think we should work on.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, this was great progress, and we're going to continue with this
Okay.
next time.